Hello there. I am privileged to be on screen interviewing Martin Bissett. Martin Bissett, I've no doubt you will be aware of. Martin's had over 20 years' experience helping the accountancy profession, helping them better understand why it is that clients and, of course, prospects buy from accountants, thus helping accountants become much better at selling to those clients and prospects the important services that they have to offer. Martin, would you tell us a little bit more about specifically what it is you're going to be covering at our next AVN Pioneers Club event on the 9th of June?
Yeah, and thank you, Shane, for inviting me here in the first place. The Pioneers Club event, my understanding is the cutting edge of the AVN membership. There's going to be present there the most forward-thinking, the most go-ahead firms. And I think in other areas of the event, a number of things are going to be raised, including the current opportunity there is to capitalise on the auto-enrolment legislation. And so I felt my best fit in with what everyone else is doing is to turn the theory into practice and to show the members there how we can perhaps formalise our efforts to win work and organise them in a way that reduces chargeable time but increases the both likelihood of acquiring clients via that service offering and in the shortest possible timetable as well. So that was my main thrust, is really to build a pipeline and to start to get the members to apply everything they learn on the day through to, right, who specifically are we going to approach? Who are we going to talk to? How are we going to talk to them? How are we going to price? How are we going to basically set up the entire process so that we're in control of it from start to finish?
Cool. Okay. Thank you. So, why is there a need for this formal pipeline at all? Why is that necessary?
That's a good question. Basically, if the firm's current GRF and walk-in business, as it were, is sufficient for what you're looking to do, there is really no need for a formal pipeline process. But as we have the cutting-edge members, the greatest appetite for growth, I think, members at the event, then the need to formalise a pipeline really gives us a competitive advantage in that it allows us to take control of our growth, it allows us to be able to forecast accurately, and it allows us to be able to spend our chargeable time in the most effective as well as efficient way. So the need to formalise a pipeline is to basically take control of that area of the business in the exact same way as you monitor costs. You know, we don't monitor costs, hopefully, on a very general or lackadaisical basis. We're very, very aware of what's going on in the business in terms of outgoings, and my belief is we should have the exact same level of attention to what's coming in as well.
Okay, thank you. Now, I've no doubt it'll be worth the time investment, but how much time is taken up in sort of building and managing a qualified prospect pipeline?
Well, let's be blunt. At the start, it is reasonably time hungry. The good news is that all the work goes in at the start, and so therefore, the better we are and become at winning work, and the more organised or disciplined that we are at running and reviewing a pipeline, the timescale shortens and shortens and shortens over time, because we don't need to invent the wheel every time we look at it and manage it. We start to refine who we're managing it with, who we need to talk to about what, and therefore the process becomes not automated, but very slick and well-oiled. And so the process becomes shorter and shorter over time, and therefore the better we get at winning work, the quicker the pipeline management becomes.
Cool. Now, you mentioned earlier about having a competitive advantage by having this pipeline in place. Can you tell me a little bit more about that?
Yeah, absolutely. In most firms, as I say, we pay a lot of attention to what's going out of the practice and what comes in, or when it's coming in, or how much it's coming in for, or what happens if we could cross-sell to our clients, what happens if we could accelerate referrals. Those issues are not dealt with the same degree of comfort because they are less technical in nature and require a different skill set, and therefore the managing of a formal process such as overheads and direct costs is very, very familiar territory. we feel comfortable in doing that as technical professionals. When it comes to winning work, there's a lot of relationship building involved in that, and we're not unable to do that, it's simply less familiar. And so therefore, the competitive advantage for those who have a process for this are really threefold. One is the reduction of chargeable time expended in winning new work. That's the main thing. At first, there's a time investment. Once that time investment is made, it doesn't require to be made again. And so therefore, when we are structured in the way we go about winning new work, then we spend a lot less time chasing it because we do not have the phone call of, is he available? Call back next Thursday. Okay. Are they available? Call back next Tuesday. Okay. And this endless sort of stream of trying to get hold of people, it's far more controlled than that. So we reduce the chargeable time we spend on actually acquiring work. That's the first competitive advantage. The second is that a formalised pipeline, which is more than simply a list of prospects and fees that we could potentially charge them, allows us to be scientific about how we prioritise which ones we work on first. And so what I hope to bring to the members at the Pioneer Club event is to demonstrate the science involved in making sure we go after the ones with the highest probability of being converted to clients in the shortest possible time at the highest possible value in terms of fees charged. So those three component parts, if you will, the shortest possible time, highest probability, and highest possible fee, again, gives us far greater understanding of where to spend our time than our competitors have, typically. And that's a fluid process. That changes on a constant basis. So that's not, the best prospect that might be a month away from converting today may not be the best prospect 2 weeks from now because things change. So we need to keep in control of the process. And probably the most attractive one, from my point of view, is it puts us in charge of forecasting our growth. And therefore, if we grew by 100k last year, 150k last year, whatever our number is, but we set our sights on 250, it gives us a very, very identifiable path as to how we're going to get to 250. What needs to happen from marketing to put the opportunities in the pipeline in the first place? What needs to happen from partnership or business development teams to make them into real opportunities that can be closed in a specific timetable? And what needs to happen at the sharp end from the handling, resolving concerns and price setting and negotiating and closing points of view that gets the business in the door? So I would say that the competitive advantage that any firm employing this kind of methodology would gain would be that they reduce the chargeable time, they only go after their highest probability opportunities, and they give themselves forecastable growth to really be able to take the firm forward in a way that they envisaged when they wrote the strategic plan in the first place.
Thanks. Okay, that's brilliant. Okay, so I think my final question, with auto-enrolment, as you mentioned earlier, now everybody's going to be talking to their clients about the staging dates. How do our accountants differentiate their firm, make it more attractive to their clients than their competitors?
Yeah, that's a brilliant question, Shane. First of all, what fascinates me in kind of both a good and a bad way is that not all firms are talking to their clients about the staging dates. Some are leaving that to chance and saying we'll get round to it. Even to this day, I've experienced firms who are not in control of that process either. So we'll differentiate in one way, in that we'll be actually bringing the issue to the client's attention, which, yes, many firms are doing, but not all. Not all our competitors are. But then, after that, auto-enrolment has to be done, first of all. It's something that has to happen. The way in which it is delivered is fairly similar in most cases, so we can't really compete there and differentiate to a great degree. Price is where we don't want to compete if we don't have to, because that will only go down, not up. And that's what we don't want to get involved in if we can help it. And therefore, it's relationship. And for me, the differentiating factor will be the firms who don't say to their clients, well, your staging date's coming up, you're going to have to sort this out, but rather demonstrate to the clients how headaches will be taken away, how they will be the paracetamol for their clients by taking care of so much of the work as possible, and what the end result, outcome, or benefit is to the firm, or to the client rather, by allowing the firm to do that. So it's all going to be in the how much do I trust this person, or how much do I trust this firm to take care of all these elements for me, and I can forget about it and get on with running my business. And that for me is going to be the differentiator. It's going to be in the relationship, because so many of the other points are available to all. All firms can offer very, very similar things in very, very similar ways. So what will make them choose us over anyone else? The way in which we handled it, the comfort that we offered, the outcomes that we showed, and the amount of pressure that we took away from the shoulders of the business owners. And I believe that will be the #1 competitive advantage to winning auto-enrollment work from clients, or even from current non-clients as well.
Thank you very much. Well, I can't wait to see you on the 9th of June, Martin. I shall be there in person, and I look forward to it. Thank you very much for that interview. Cheers.
Looking forward to it, Shane. Thanks very much for your time.
Well, I'm certainly looking forward to seeing Martin. I really hope you are too. I'll be coming as a guest myself. That particular event is going to be hosted by Mark Wickersham. Mark Wickersham's away on holiday at the moment, but I tend to do these interviews in advance anyway. So now you know the drill. Click yes or no below. Let us know whether you're coming or not. What would be really great is if you do come the night before, join us for that meal. We can build that relationship with each other, or all of us collectively, and set the ball rolling in terms of that learning and sharing. So hopefully I'll see you there, preferably on the 8th, certainly on the 9th. All the best. Ta-ra.